Well, hello everybody. Welcome to a kind of a late module introduction for Module 5. But a lot of things been going on this week, and we did have a shorter week. The college was closed on Monday, so I'm still in catch-up mode, so I apologize for that. All right, in this video, I want to talk about a couple of things, the midterm being the big one. I'm sure a lot of you have questions about the midterm. Let me kind of tell you where we stand right now. Still waiting to finalize the midterm, kind of lock it. It's not quite locked yet, so I have a few students who still need to complete the midterm for various reasons, and once that is complete, then the midterm will be locked. Now, as I'm looking at, I have most of the results in now, but as I'm looking at the midterm data right on my second screen here. So the average score for the class is a little bit above 70%. So that's not alarming. That looks okay. And also considering there will be some adjustments for sure. There's a few questions I'm targeting right now that we're going to adjust. There could be anywhere from 2 to 5 questions that I'll adjust on this midterm. But I want to make sure all the information is locked before I make those adjustments. Long story short, though, all of your current scores will be lifted up a bit as we adjust for those bad questions. So what I do is I look at each question, and if the class has missed, if more than 50% of you have missed that particular question, I really start looking into that, and those are the ones that I'm going to adjust. There are 2 right now for sure that are going to be adjusted, and again, I got some other suspicious characters that'll be adjusted as well. So I anticipate by hopefully Friday, tomorrow, or Monday to lock this midterm and then make those final adjustments on your midterm grade. So stay tuned for me to release that at some point, again, hopefully by Monday. I'll keep you informed. But also, we have about, I think, 16 or 17 in the class. And from a technical standpoint, I think things went really well. Whenever you do something like this, there's always going to be an issue with a group of people. Someone's going to have a technical issue. And we did have a few of those. But for the most part, for a group this large, having only 2 to 3 students with technical issues, I thought was pretty good. So that went pretty smooth, and some of you probably already had ProctorU before, and you've made sure you've loaded the Guardian browser, and you've done all these things way ahead of time to reduce that frustration in going into all of this. So I think that really helps too. So for the final, I anticipate we should be pretty good. One of the things that has come up with a couple of students, they've mentioned, why are we doing this? Why are we doing these proctored exams? As I've mentioned in previous update videos, if you're kind of watching these, I do recommend you watch all these update videos. The big reason is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, you can copy and paste a entire exam, essay, multiple choice, anything. You just copy and paste it right into GPT-4 or Claude, and it will answer it, and it almost always scores above a 90%. So the old process where I would have students take an exam, and it would be open book, open note, I always felt like, well, at least they can open the book and find the answer. There's a learning process in even looking up the answers as they're going through, an exam or a quiz. But with AI, you can literally just complete 100 question, multiple choice, true, false, whatever, in about a minute. So, and it even gives you the rationale for each answer. So it's pretty amazing. So there's that. And how do we assess student learning knowing that everybody has access to the basically probably the most smartest person in the world at their fingertips that they can, bring into an exam, midterm, assignment, what have you. So that's why we're doing it, to preserve the integrity of your degree and to make sure that we're assessing student learning to the best of our ability. And ProctorU is, that's I think a good midpoint for doing that. We don't want to bring students to campus. That doesn't work. Some of you are all over the country. There are, back in the old days, before all of this, there were proctor centers where students could physically go. We would physically mail an exam to a proctor center. You would go to the center, do the ID process, and take the exam. Very hard to do, especially for you guys. You're busy, you're working full time. Many of you have family obligations, other obligations to do. And that just doesn't work. So I think ProctorU is a good safe midpoint for us to have some degree of confidence of the process. One of the things that I've noticed, I did get to from the back end. I'll give you a little secret, or not even a secret, but on our end, on the instructor's end, we get notifications of suspicious behavior on tests. And there were a few of you that triggered suspicious behavior. And then that flags to us, and we get to review the video. We can look at it. It could be something innocent, just someone moving the camera around, or like myself, what I do, often I read out loud on questions to help me process that. ProctorU doesn't like that, so be careful about reading out loud. What they're afraid of is that you're reading a question out loud and there's some way someone is signaling to you the correct answer. So, I guess be careful about that. Again, it's hard for me. When I do these things, I gotta consciously remember, don't read out loud. And movements, any kind of unusual movements will be flagged. So there was a few of them. I reviewed them. It just seemed completely innocent and benign. But as you take these in other classes, kind of remember that. You don't want to have to kind of go through a retest or anything like that. Just my recommendation is try to do these in a home office type an area, or if you're doing them in a bedroom that you maybe you have I've seen students use a bedroom and they bring in like a portable table and a chair, so you can you're not sitting, I guess you want to be sitting kind of in a testing situation with a table and chair. Makes it kind of nice versus maybe sitting just in the lazy boy or in that. And that seems to work really well for that private, quiet area with, nothing and minimal distractions, as you've seen in some cases when they pan the room, they're looking for anything that could be, hidden cues to various answers. So just keep that in mind. Again, I saw no reason to reach out to students about anything being suspicious, but there were flags on my end. And after I reviewed them, it looked perfectly fine to me. But as you're going through other classes, just keep that in mind. All right, enough about the midterm. Let's move on to another topic that's coming up in a couple of weeks for us. So there are a few individuals in this class who are graduating this semester. So congratulations, you have made it. You've gone through an arduous program. You've done all of this, while working, and going to school and doing all this stuff. So I commend you for that. That is a definite achievement. That is a grind. So we do have a small group in this class that are graduating. What I need you to do is to reach out to me and let me know that you are graduating. I have a list on my end, but I want to confirm it with you guys reaching out. So if you are graduating, and this only counts for individuals graduating this spring. If you're graduating this summer, great, but that's not concerning you right now. If you're graduating this spring, reach out to me and say, hey, Chris, I'm graduating this spring. The reason is that for individuals that are graduating this spring, the class actually ends a little bit early for you because we like to calculate final grades and give you your actual diploma at commencement. Whether you're attending commencement or not, we do it for everybody to keep everybody on the same level playing field. So graduating individuals, reach out to me. We're going to have to do a little bit different plan to have you finish up this course a little bit earlier so we can get your final grades in. So email me in the next couple of days so we can work out what that plan would be. All right, that is that part. And let me just double check my list here. I think that is pretty much covering it for this week. Again, look for that final to be finalized by Monday and your grades there. And if there are any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And everybody have a great rest of the week and a fantastic weekend. Thanks. Talk to you later.